Where's Keisha?
Here I
Oh, there she is. Glad I found her.
am. Hey everybody! Welcome to Saving Green's Homestead. My name is Keisha and I welcome you. Today I am standing in this hole for a reason. I am about to plant my redbud tree here. So I thought this would be a good time to bring you guys along and show you how I'm gonna do it. Stay tuned. Here's an update on our front yard project. My friend came and did the cement, filled in. That's where we had those PVC pipes where we ran them under. So now that's closed off with cement. And this is also closed off with cement now. And now this is also closed off with cement. So all we have is this little area, and I left this open because the main line to the house, the main water line runs under here. And if anything happens, I wanted us to have, still have some accessibility to it. So that's why I left this and not got this cemented, this part cemented. So all of this is going to be flower bed. And all the way over there, flower bed. So you guys, it's time for me to start putting this tree into this hole. It's been time. I let that tree sit long enough. And I didn't do that on purpose, I guess. It just started getting really hot. But I am going to put it in here. I did wet this a little bit. I had to wet it because how rock solid that stuff was, but I want to make sure I say this before I go any further, that I am not an expert when it comes to doing this stuff, especially planting trees. Aside from the ones that already came in containers that I up-potted, this is my third tree that I'm actually planting in the ground. So, and you guys, I'm in the high desert and we have a lot of clay. And I'm guessing I didn't wet this enough. So you can kind of see how this stuff is. And it gets rock hard when it's dry. And so I had to wet this down in order to be able to add it to this hole. But I am by no means no expert. I only do what makes sense to me. And usually when I plant stuff, I use wood chips in the bottom, like in all my containers and all of my raised beds and everything, because wood chips help to absorb and maintain moisture. I did a water test and it took over 3 hours for the water to absorb. It just sat there. And I can't have the roots of my trees sitting in water like that. So I'm going to add these wood chips down in the bottom there before I put the dirt. And they're going to help with water absorption and help keep the water down and keep it moist around the roots. So, and then you guys, I don't know if you can see this. Those little white, you see it on here? Let me point it out to you. These little white, like little, I don't know what to call them. It's they're called mycelium. I don't know if you can see it on there too, but that forms, and it's a very important part of the soil ecosystem. It helps to break down these wood chips. This is what helps form like mushrooms and stuff. It helps in the decaying process and dispersing nutrients throughout the soil. So these wood chips I had sitting for, that pile's been sitting for 4 years, 3 or 4 years now. So they've had a chance to really age, and so that process had started happening. And so these are ready to be used down in here. I'm happy and excited about that. So you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those down, and as I layer and add things, I'm going to water and make sure this stays nice and moist from the get-go. And I'm sure I'm going to hit some of the real hard, solid stuff as I go along to show you. This stuff is just no joke. It's really hard packed. But I had to chisel it to make that hole. And now I'm going to have to chisel it to put it back in. The good thing is that when I put it back in, there's aged manure and raised bed soil that's all mixed in this, that will also then be mixed in this native soil. And I'm adding back the native soil mixed in with all of that, because that's going to help this tree flourish. And I know it doesn't make sense. Why put it back in this hard rock like clay, right? Why put it back in there with that? But that's what's out here, and that's what it's going to be growing in. And if I want it to be used to its environment and not try and stay in this little, run its roots in this little space here, but actually spread out and anchor down, then I need to use the native soil that's here from the start, so that it can get used to that. So anyways, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna put these wood chips inside this hole, and then I will start layering this dirt on top of those so I can get this tree planted today. Okay, so my hubby got that poured in there, and I am just going to water this really good, get it nice and good and wet, and then I'm going to start adding some dirt, and then we're going to put the tree in there. Looks like I might have a little bit too much wood chip. I might take some out. I don't know how many. It was all from that big old container, and I had that full. I don't know how much that is, but this clay is just weird. It gets rock hard, but then when you wet it, it just starts to disintegrate. So I'm gonna get this nice and wet, and then I'm gonna take some of these wood chips out, maybe, or maybe I'll just pack them in. I don't know. I think I'll jump in there and pack them in, and then I'll start putting the dirt in, so we can get that tree planted in here tonight. And I'm doing it in the cool part of the day. You see, there's lots of shade around me here. And I'm doing it at the cool part of the day, at the end of the day, because I want the tree to be able to acclimate. The tree is just sitting off right there, but I want it to acclimate and have a chance to, I don't want it to go into shock, transplant shock. So, okay, I'm going to jump down in there now. Okay, you guys, I forgot to mention that these wood chips also is going to help feed the tree and nourish it as it decays. So that's another good reason for using them. And you guys, I had jumped down in there to push these wood chips down, and they were floating on top of the water, and there was a lot of water in there, and I sank. I got my feet all wet and everything. So anyways, I'm going to start shoveling some of this dirt in and getting it ready for when we put the tree. I'm going to put in so much dirt and then add some water and keep layering it that way. So I'll be back. I put some dirt. I've already layered like 2 layers of dirt in there and watered, so there. My husband and my son are grabbing the tree to bring over here. Help him. He's gonna lift and you pull that out. You push that down so it can come out. There we go.
Probably should have been on that side because it's flat.
Okay, go around to that side then. Oh, bug. Okay. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna be perfect. Put it in the middle. Is that in the middle? Kind of looks like it, but I just want to make sure. You think maybe you can get it to come over this way a little bit? Towards me?
Ouch.
Just a little. Okay. I think that's good. So now I just have to start. I'm going to wet it. I'm going to wet that because it needs to be disturbed, all the dirt, so the roots can. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to start filling this in. Okay, so we got it in there. And you guys, I didn't bury it. I added it to the hole, and I added the dirt around it. So the top, the dirt that was on top of this is still on top. See, this is where the end of the knot at the base of the tree is. So, and you can see right here even the line from where it was in the dirt right here, where it was potted. So, from what I've researched and stuff, it's always good not to bury the tree, I guess because the base of the tree could rot. And I'm sure there's other reasons and factors. So my husband is just watering it in really good. And all the water that we put in there, the water from that I put in before I started, then the wood chips, and then more water, and then a layer of dirt, and then more water, and then a layer of dirt and more water, and just water along the way here. I think that this is pretty well watered in. So, you guys, like I always say, I'm not an expert and I don't do how-to videos. I just show you how I'm doing stuff. And some of the times I don't show you everything because I don't want you to try and imitate what I'm doing, thinking that what I'm doing is, coming from an expert or professional viewpoint. It's not. I Google stuff, I YouTube stuff, and that's how I figure out, and whatever makes sense to me, and whatever I know from experience that works is what I do. So don't get frustrated. I just don't want people trying to, oh, well, I'm planting this because I'm trying to plant it the way you planted it. No, you get on there and do your research like I did my research. And you figure it out. But this is the way I did mine. So I'm just going to go to the garden center tomorrow and get some topsoil to put on here. And then I'll be ready to plant some strawberries. I want strawberries at the base of this tree. If I can keep my cats out of this bed, then I will have nothing but strawberries growing here. So, and maybe a few flowers. Maybe, we'll see. But this is going to be my strawberry bed, so I'm excited about that. Okay, babe, that's enough. So you guys, thank you so much for watching this video.